Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the live broadcast. So, my name is Angeline Constantinou. I am the founder, CEO, and podcaster of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So, please like and subscribe to my podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Angeline Mitchell. So I am live right now on my Facebook fan page, which is Let's Break the Silence, and also my YouTube channel. So this is season 4. So welcome to season 4. I cannot believe it. Time goes so quickly. It's the beginning of a new year, new beginnings. 2023 is already off to an amazing start. So today, the topic that I am going to be talking about is failure. Failure is our teacher. And I recall that I had talked about this in one of my posts this past week, but I want to share something with you. And this morning, I was up bright and early. It's Sunday, Sunday morning. I was live at 8 a.m. Eastern time with a very good friend of mine who is a podcaster. She's also a world-renowned author and speaker. She is also a domestic abuse survivor. So I was a special guest on the Miss Texas podcast show with my good friend Elena Georgiou, and she lives in Cyprus. So, I mean, this is the benefit of social media. A huge benefit of social media, which I talked about early this morning, is that we can connect with people from all over the world. And I am proud, and I was very proud of myself. I shared my story of how I went from victim to victor of domestic abuse. I shared my journey, my rediscovery after domestic violence. And I can tell you this podcast show was fire, and I cannot wait to share the recording with you, which will launch in February. So right now, if you are watching the live right now, please let me know by hashtagging live in the comments and let me know where you are tuning in from. And if you are watching the replay, please hashtag replay. But I decided to go live tonight. I didn't want to wait until tomorrow morning. Normally, I go live on Monday mornings for my Monday motivation. But I decided not to wait and go live tonight. So this is a very important topic. If you are a domestic abuse survivor, a divorced woman, a single mom, I think you want to listen to this podcast episode. And I think you would want to watch the live right now, or if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay and let me know your feedback. I would love your feedback on this important topic. So while I was sharing my story, how I went from victim to victor of domestic abuse, a light bulb moment happened for me. So, I was very victorious in breaking free from domestic abuse, domestic violence. I come from humble beginnings and I've made great strides. And last year, I touched on something. I was working on a film project. I was promoting someone else's idea, which did not come to fruition. And this is a hard lesson that I had to learn, as far as the entertainment industry is concerned. I learned that it can be very brutal and there's a lot of, backstabbing, and lo and behold, I lost a lot of money. I was swindled and I lost a lot of money in this business venture. However, failure is our teacher. Failure means that we stop trying. And I am certainly not a quitter. So in this podcast show, which I was a special guest, I shared that whole journey of the film project. And while it didn't, while we couldn't attract the right investors, I was promoting a project. I, found myself that I found myself out of alignment, meaning out of alignment with what they wanted to do. So instead of promoting someone else's idea, I decided to back off. I decided to walk away. And I know that that was really hard for me. And so what I decided to do was to take to walk away. And Elena, she's a great person, and I can't wait to meet her in April. Okay, God willing, I'll be flying to Greece. She asked me what my vision was regarding my future documentary. So here is the future of my. This is the vision of my future documentary. Is I am going to be sharing my story, my real life story of how I rediscovered myself after domestic abuse. And for those of you who know me really well, for those of you who follow me on my fan page and on my YouTube channel, this is a real, raw, vulnerable story. Okay. It's not easy to put yourself out there and, put yourself in a position where this previous project that I was involved in, it was a total failure. And, there are reasons why it was a failure, which I, really can't discuss right now. But these are hard lessons learned. But failure is feedback. And, I've learned from those failures, and our failures can turn into divinely orchestrated successes. So actually, this turned into a blessing, a huge blessing. Because guess what? Later this year, I've already manifested that my documentary project that I've been putting off for too long is going to become reality. As long as I, go and I've aligned myself with some great people, and I know that it's going to become reality later this year. If not later this year, it'll be 2024. But all I can say is I've already started working on it. But failure is our teacher. I want to go back to the topic right now, but that was something that I shared that wasn't easy for me to share, because I know, for myself last year, I put myself out there and I was promoting an idea that was not popular to investors, and we were not attracting the right people. We didn't have the right cast members, and that's it. I'm not going to say any more than that. But like I said, it turned into a blessing. So what I want to ask you is this: if you are a single mom, divorced woman, domestic abuse survivor, failure is our best teacher. So ask yourself. I mean, the first thing that I had to do was to take ownership. And I took ownership of, what happened with me with this event that happened to me last year. But as far as yourself is concerned, okay, when you're going through a domestic abuse situation, okay, the only people that we have to blame is ourselves. I mean, I know that that may be a very harsh statement, but if we allow the abuser to take control of our finances, take control of, who we can see, who we cannot see, who we can be friends with and not be friends with, that's a problem. That's an issue. Okay. And it's important for us to take ownership. And one thing that I talked about during my journey is, Elena asked me a very good question, how did I, how was I, what were the strategies that I used? I had to take ownership. The first thing that I had to do was just take ownership. And that's it. That's it. Take ownership and not feel sorry for myself. The pity party is over. Okay. I realized that in my marriage, and I was married for 23 years, and this, it was a very, it was a hard decision that I had to make. But once I made that decision to leave, then things started to open up for me. Abundance. Okay. I started to surround myself with the right people in my life. So I just want to give a couple shout outs because I see that Diane is live. Good evening, Diane. George, good evening to you from Massachusetts. And I think Diane is on the West Coast. So great to have you here tonight. So I am so glad that you are both here tonight. And for those of you who are watching the replay, just let me know, #replay, and let me know your thoughts about failure is our teacher, because it is. Failure is our best teacher. So, do you ever feel like you've failed so many times that you're ready to quit? Now, I could have quit many times, but I decided not to quit. I decided to keep moving forward. So, with that being said, whatever happened last year is history. Hard lesson learned, but it's history. This year is a new year, and I am already tentatively planning a trip to Greece, God willing, in April for an event. And I'm also going to be looking for property in Greece. And I also want to reconnect with my extended family in Greece, because I can tell you this. I mean, I turned 59 last week. Last week was my birthday, had an amazing birthday. But, the time is now. The time is now to press forward, to press on. And despite all the times that I failed, I do have a proven track of failures. Trust me, I have, a proven track of failures, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, what I talked about earlier in the first part of my live. Failures are our best teachers, and it also can turn into a blessing in disguise, and that's exactly what happened. It was a blessing in disguise. So, was so happy and blessed that I was a special guest this morning. Woke up bright and early at 6 a.m., got ready, and I was ready at 8 a.m. in the morning. So I feel, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. So, it doesn't matter when we hit our goal, as long as we have a vision. So this is the second thing that I was talking about. Okay. As long as you have a vision and you are emotionally attached to that vision and dream, nothing can stop you from achieving your goals. Okay. Nothing can stop you. And if you didn't achieve it last year, okay, that's okay. I mean, I think a lot of my goals I did not achieve last year, but guess what? It doesn't mean that I quit. It just means that I'm moving forward. So it means that it was a blessing in disguise, and I had to pivot. I had to pivot my business. I had to pivot even my podcast. Okay. Right now we are growing, and we are in 7 countries, and my goal is to grow my podcast and scale it to guess how many countries? Not 25, not 50, but 100. That's a hefty goal. And I can tell you, whatever I have to do, I am going to do it. And I am going to make a plan of action. This is another point that I was talking about on my podcast. We have to set a plan of action. We have to set a plan of action. We need to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, and just get thank you, Dr. Marnie and Dr. Marnie Hilfodero. Oh, thank you for tuning live on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your kind words. Oh, thank you so much. You are amazing, and your story is inspiring as you help others. Exactly. My story is having an impact on many women, including men too, but primarily women. Okay. And what my plans are is I am working with a life business coach, and she is a 6-figure earner. And we are revamping my coaching program, and I am so excited about that. I will be sharing that in a future live, but right now I am super excited to be working with her. And like I said, that turned into a blessing. so we can turn our obstacles into opportunities. So that is the main thing. Oh, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I truly appreciate you. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope you had a happy new year and everything. Dr. Marnie, so glad to see you here live on my YouTube channel. So let's just, we press on, okay? We press on. We learn from our failures, okay? Just because we didn't hit our goal the first time doesn't mean we're not going to hit it this year, okay? So, I have vision boards. I have, vision boards in my office. And another thing that I'm working on is organizing my office. But anyways, what I wanted to say was this. I just wanted to go live and share this with you because I had an epiphany and I wanted to, share my journey and the fact that I was a special guest on this amazing podcast. The podcast episode that we did this morning will go live in February. So it'll be probably the first or second week in February. And once that podcast goes live, trust me, I'm going to be sharing it with the world. And just like this episode right now. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in to my live tonight here on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook fan page. And please like and subscribe to my podcast, Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. You can find me on Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And this podcast episode will be uploaded this week onto my podcast. It's season 4 already. Time goes so quickly. But I'm very proud that I stayed the course with my podcast. So, I'm also looking for special guests. So if you know anyone who would like to be a special guest on my podcast, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me via private messenger or go to my website, which is letsbreakthesilence.com. And there is a book now button, so you can book a call with me. And, we will talk about, your journey, because I do want to have domestic abuse survivors on my podcast show. So please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. And also, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Angeline Mitchell. So I hope you got value from this live tonight. I would love your thoughts. And like I said, this podcast episode will be uploaded this week onto my podcast, Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. I will let you know. I am working with some great people who are going to be doing reels for me, and they are going to be preparing the show notes. So what a way to start 2023, right? In business, we have to learn to delegate. That's another thing. Okay. We cannot do everything on our own. We have to learn to delegate. But the main thing is, my message that I want to share, which I shared this morning on this podcast show, which is called the Miss Texas podcast show, which was aired from Cyprus. And, my bucket list is also to travel to Cyprus and make new connections with people over there. So God is doing great things. And so don't give up. So my message is, do not give up. Failure is our best teacher. We can learn from our failures. We can rise up. We can rise up from the ashes and just press forward. So keep pressing forward. Press on. Do not give up. Okay? Do not let the enemy talk you out of your project, because guess what? I am going to be launching my project later this year, my documentary. So I am super excited. If you have any questions about that, or if you would like to be involved, send me a private message on Facebook. My private Facebook page is Angeline Constantinu, or book a call with me. And actually, I believe my Calendly link is right there, which is already posted on this live here on my Facebook fan page. Okay. So I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight on short notice. I wish you all an amazing evening and be on the lookout for this week's new podcast episode. Have a great night, everyone.